Hi, my name is Cora Squires. I am presenting my presentation for what learning strategy I've chosen from our reading this week, week 2. I have chosen total physical response, which is the alternative to the audiolingual response, and an example of the comprehension approach to language teaching. This was developed in 1960 by James Asher. James Asher made 3 hypotheses after observing young children with their parents. Number 1, his first hypothesis was that language is learned primarily by listening. Number 2, language learning must engage the right hemisphere of the brain. Number 3, learning language should not involve stress. He made these, as I mentioned before, he made these hypotheses by observing children who were learning their first language. Asher found that the interaction between parents and young children included both physical and verbal aspects. Asher observed that children respond physically to speech, physically to the speech of their parents. He learned that young children spend a lot of time listening to speech and language before they ever attempt to speak. Also, the young children react and understand more complex sayings and utterances before they can even, they can understand more than they can produce. Next, to go more in depth for Asher's hypothesis, the brain is not, his first hypothesis, he proposed that the brain was naturally predisposed to learning language just by listening. There was a quote that I found. He stated, "A reasonable hypothesis is that the brain and the nervous system are biologically programmed to acquire language, either the first or the second in particular sequence and in a particular mode. The sequence is listening before speaking, and the mode is synchronized language with individuals' bodies." His second hypothesis, language must engage the right hemisphere. He drew a direct correlation between the right hemisphere's ability to control movement and coupled that with language acquisition. And finally, his third and last one, learning a language should not be stressful, as it can inhibit the natural language process or language learning process. He states that the focus should remain on meaning and movement. TPR, or total physical response, students are not forced or expected to speak. Instead, they acquire language through listening. Most lessons are built around grammar, in particular, usually verbs, which are action words. The total physical response is a theory that our memory is enhanced through the association with physical movement. Examples of TPR that you can use as teaching strategies would be nursery rhymes, Simon Says, charades, circle time, and even scavenger hunts. I appreciate your time. Then that is my presentation. Have a great day.